Yo, yo, yo. Oh, there we go. What's going on, folks? Ah, it's your boy, Mr. B here. Are you good? Because I am good. It is July 26th at approximately 4:12 p.m. I'm here. I'm chilling. I hope you're chilling. I hope your week's been good so far. Um, cause I've been all right. All right. I dropped a quick one yesterday. These, I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth. But yeah, man, this week, big weekend things. Yes, indeed. Um, just came from the Fulton Inoue fight that happened yesterday. Coming off of, I didn't go. Um, uh, the domination of Naoya Inoue as he won both of the super bantamweight titles from Stephen Fulton with the 8-round TKO. Oh my God, such a fight that I didn't even believe would be one sided like that, but really, really was one sided like that. Um, wow, I still can't believe it. Like footwork, speed, timing, power, the technique, this trap setup. Like Fulton was not prepared for all that stuff. Even if they thought they were prepared, getting in the ring and fighting this dude, yo, he was outmatched, man. And Fulton is a good fighter. Fulton's no slouch. He took the big risk to go over to Japan to defend the titles. As Inoue dropped all his titles to move up and get man, man, to get obliterated like that in the eighth. I see everybody want Inoue to fight Tank. And Tank talking about, I wouldn't mind fighting that guy if he could make it up the weight by then because Tank is moving up already. Now he is 122 right now. If they were to try to make the super fight, now you gotta move. You gotta jump up 13 pounds for 135. Crazy, you know? But we'll see how that works, man. But boy, oh boy, the jabs to the head, the jabs to the body, Fulton not wanting to step and engage in the pocket, Fulton trying to fight from distance, but now his speed was preventing that. He didn't want to get in the pocket and get caught with heavy shots. Eventually, he did get caught with heavy shots. Psh, the worst ones, because one put him down bad, and then that finishing volley put him away. Shit, man, just shit. Um, but other than that, it was good though. It was good. So after that, later in the night, we watched Ultimate Fighter episode 9. Um, Austin Hubbard fought Roosevelt Roberts. It wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing fight. It wasn't like a war. It was a lot of tactical, more so technique. It did go 3 rounds though, surprisingly. They gave it an extra round because of how close it was. And Hubbard got the split decision. Pretty much what it was Roosevelt Roberts with the good striking Hubbard was striking in combination. And then the first round was Roosevelt Roberts's. He landed the cleaner shots, I think it was. The better, much cleaner shots, I think. Hubbard threw the combinations. Hubbard got a takedown. Now Roosevelt was trying to attack this guillotine. Every time Hubbard tried to go for the takedown, but Hubbard managed to avoid it and land in side guard in the side mount and take advantage. Use that. Rose tried to throw some submissions up there off his back because he eventually got it into the full guard. Um, went to the third round, and it was pretty much the same thing. Hubbard got the takedown. Hubbard managed to control. Roosevelt was good on the feet, but Hubbard just managed to put pressure on him, put a good amount of pressure on him, kept him walking backwards, kept him against the cage, landed the combinations, and then just got the takedown. So if Rose would have pressed a little bit more, probably would have got it. Kept it more in the center of the cage, and just let the output shine, man. But that did not happen. So Brad Katona's fighting next week. He'll be fighting Timur Valiev in the bantamweights. The semis, is it? Yeah. So yeah. Interesting case. Interesting case. Yeah, we'll see how those turn out. Now, Brad Katona represents SBG Ireland. So he has left because Connor, only one of Connor's fighters won. So guys have to split up between Connor and they had the option of either train with Connor or not. So some of the guys didn't. They trained with Chandler, so they split Chandler's coaching. But for Brad is gonna go to SBG to train with the SBG folks, train with Connor because his coach is John Kavanaugh. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. They add drama to the show. Ooh. Other than that, we could talk about some of this stuff in between. I think we talked about it. Paulo Costa is going to be fighting Hamzat Chimaev, but now Paulo Costa talking about he's not feeling quite well. I don't know if it's good jokes or tactics. This has been Paulo's thing. Paulo's been kind of funny on social media. He's been having a go at it a little bit, but you can't be joking. Yeah, your spot's on the line here, and you find a dog in Hamzat Chimaev. But then this will be one of Hamzat Chimaev's really big tests, wouldn't it? As far as opponents go. Well, Gilbert was. I won't say Gilbert kind of was. Put respect on Gilbert Burns' name. Even though Hamzat did win, very close fight. I still felt like Gilbert kind of did more, but it's the UFC. And since Hamzat missed weight, he hasn't been the same. Now, all that said, that's happening. There was news Vicente Luque came back. Vicente Luque was one of the top 10 ranked welterweights in the division, I think it is. Yeah, one of the top 10, if I remember. I think he was 8 or some shit like that. If I remember. But I'm going to look it up, of course. But yeah, man, he was out after the fight against Jeff Neal. He actually had a brain hemorrhage. And he's medically cleared to come back and fight. Now, I'm no doctor, but yeah, you're fucking wild. Oh no, he's number 10. He's number 10. I thought he was 8 or something. Yeah, Jeff Neal took his spot. That's right. What's wrong with me? He was 8. Yeah, he was 8. Now he's 10. See, I was like, oh. So I remember shit. But yeah, he took that crazy fight against Jeff Neal, and then Jeff Neal knocked him out in the last round. But yeah, he ended up with a brain hemorrhage. crazy joint. That's a brain bleed, pretty much. Your brain's bleeding. You got a vessel in the brain, so you have to get surgery, emergency surgery, and they medically cleared him to return. I don't think he should return. I think he should just sit it out. Probably sit it out for a long time, or just say, yo, you know what? I might retire. Might call it a day, because his style of fight, you can't get away with that. It's gonna catch up. You know, my dudes, Spencer Fisher. I always talk about him because he's one of my favorite fighters throughout the years. That my dude was is considered disabled. He's handicapped. They can, you know what I mean? He has a disability now because of all the fights, and he ain't the same. He ain't quite the same. He can't do things like he used to do anymore. So you don't want to end up like that. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing you could provide for your family and entertain the fans, have your career and reach for a goal, but when you retire, you know, you want to be able to retire and enjoy your time after you retire with your family, and be able to hold and play with your kids, and be with your wife and still be out there for your family. You don't want to freaking retire and end up in a wheelchair and shit like that. You can't move, and you can't operate like you used to. So, Godspeed to him, and whatever comes of it. I hope that shit changes up. If he retire, if he decides, you know, to call it, um, what else? Um, oh yeah, I was gonna talk about the Bellator Rising card. Yes, I was, but there was news that came out yesterday. AJ McKee was pulled off the Bellator card, the Bellator Rising card that's supposed to take place on Saturday. Now, the card, which was gonna be a pretty decent card, is nothing crazy. Um, Honest to God, it really is nothing crazy. Um, and I say that not to be disrespectful, but there were pretty much like two fights that was holding this whole card up. Um, yeah, there were pretty much two fights holding this card up, and it was the official inaugural flyweight title fight and Patricky Pitbull versus AJ McKee in the lightweight tournament. But now AJ's out. So no disrespect though. We got Koreshkov versus Larkin, which is a rematch. Why is this fight here again? I don't have a clue. But I like Lorenz Larkin. He's dope. Magomedov versus Danny Sabatello. That's at 135. Kana Watanabe versus Veda Ortega. Ortega's been there for a minute, but Kana, she's pretty much trying to come in a bounce back to get a win here. She lost against was it Limale McFarlane last fight out. Um, so this would be for her, for the fans, pretty much for the Japanese fans, for her to pick up a win. But the co-main and the main events were here: Kyoji Horiguchi versus Makoto Shinryu. Shinryu's 16-1-1 and Horiguchi's 31-5-0. And this was going to be for the flyweight title, the Bellator flyweight title. So, um, they have Patricky, who's 24-11 versus AJ McKee. But now since AJ is gone, They're replacing him with Roberto De Souza, who's 15-2. Oh, that's a shot to the gut. I did not want. I did not expect. Now Sabatello challenged for the title during the bantamweight tournament. He fought Rofion Stotts, got that decision loss. Magomedov got choked unconscious by Patchy Mix. Larkin's been lurking between 185 and 170. Koreshkov, long time fighter for Bellator. He's been in for a minute. I think he's like a two-time welterweight champ. I think so, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I got like a two-time champ. But yeah, Larkin's been on a 7-fight win streak. Koreshkov is still good though. Only 4 losses, 26-4. But his style of fight is kind of awkward. He's gonna strike a little bit. He's gonna try to wrestle, but his wrestling is not what it used to be. But he knows how to like string some wins together. So that's always pretty funky, pretty cool though. But damn, the last time he beat somebody that was like somewhat decent, yeah, Sabah He fought Chance Rencounter, but Rencounter was in the UFC. Rencounter wasn't really all that. Rencounter was just a long dude, and he got finished in 38 seconds. Man, you can't. You know what I mean? Kinda wrestling. She's long though. She's very rangy. Vader just in your face with the striking. The wrestling somewhat there. The jiu-jitsu and the wrestling is there, but when she applies the pressure, she's pretty fucking good. Um, See how she deals with the wrestling and the counter though. Kyoji's just a beast. Everybody knows Kyoji. But Makoto Shinryu is a very interesting guy. Um, Makoto is a young cat too, man, with the pancrase background. He only got 4 finishes though. He got 4 finishes. 16 of his wins are by decision. But you gotta make this nightmare because it's kind of like grappling versus grappling almost. Um, yeah, it's just gonna be like almost a grappler type situation. Where I think Kyoji's gonna have to use more of his striking to get this fight crazy going. But nah. Uh, but you ain't here to hear me do all this. You here to hear me talk about Saturday. Now, before I even go into that, last weekend I watched what is it? Maxie Hughes versus George Kambosos. I don't want to watch another George Kambosos fight ever again. I don't care. I'm not watching a George Kambosos fight for anything else anymore. I don't care. I don't know. Don't tell me crap. I'm over it. George Kambosos got beat for at least 7 to 8 rounds of that fight. They gave George Kambosos 115 to 113. I think on two of the, no, they gave 114, 114, 115, 113 on one of the cards, and 117, 111. Where? On what planet? Man, for majority decision. Hell nah, man. Maxie beat that man up. George couldn't brawl. George don't got the refined technique to box. His thing is to make fights messy, and then he's able to throw those punches and get what he needs to get in. Yo, this wasn't even like a crazy output type fight. Not even like what Devin Haney did. So he could have had at least a chance of making this fight even a messy fight. And still Maxie Hughes did manage to outstrike him, to outpoint him. And look good doing it. Look, yeah. Because it wasn't really that crazy high output, but Maxie did more than enough to walk away with his title intact. And still they gave it to George Kambosos. Then they try to bring in Shakur Stevenson, I mentioned, and Shakur said, "Nah, I don't want to fight that guy. He's not on my level. I won't fight him, man." And then they talk about, "Yo, bro, let's fight. Take the 25%, man. But get out of here with that stupid talk. Take the 25%. Take an uppercut to your face. How about that? You got to be out your mind to talk about fight Kambosos, man." Yo, Haney gonna go if if Kambosos ends up the mandatory for Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is a mandatory for Kambosos because Haney's gonna go fight Regis Prograis, and then they're gonna possibly line up Lopez. Then Shakur gonna go fight Kambosos, beat Kambosos, and then we see what happens. Kambosos ain't beating Shakur Stevenson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That ain't happening. Nope. Kick rocks. That ain't happening. If they're trying to get George Kambosos to try to rematch Lopez in some way, shape, or form, y'all bugging. If y'all, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. George Kambosos had what 3 opportunities to bring back what he brought against Teofimo Lopez. The 2 shots against Devin Haney didn't do that. Fought Hughes didn't do that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. I don't know, bro. I don't know. And he fought. Did he fight somebody else before that? I don't know. But they're tripping. They tripping. But yo, let's talk about it. So Saturday got a double event, a double feature. I don't know. That brings the title of this episode: UFC 291 or Crawford Spence Jr. Which one are you trying to watch? I'm trying to watch both, but I gotta explain to you why you gotta try to tune into one of these two. So let's talk about Spence Crawford. Saturday at 8 o'clock. So hopefully the main one starts at like 11, probably 12, depending. In Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Yes, sir. T-Mobile. Errol, the true Spence Jr., faces Terrence Bud Crawford. These two dudes have been on a tirade throughout their runs for the welterweight titles. I was gonna say the featherweight titles. What the fuck is wrong with me? But yeah, Terrence Crawford, man. This dude called up lightweight, went to light welterweight, junior welterweight, and welterweight, bagging up these titles as he goes. 2006 Golden Gloves, silver medalist. 2002, 2007 national championship. He got that. Now, outside of that, our boy, he had the WBO welterweight title. Currently, well, he had the WBO and Ring Magazine's lightweight titles. He unified the WBA and WBC, IBF, and WBO light welterweight, junior welterweight titles. Yup. United these joints, unified these joints. Had the major titles, man. Psh, insane. Insane. Yep. Since Costa Zoo. Costa Zoo was the last light welterweight champ. You know, Costa managed to line that stuff up. When you moved up, he was winning. He ended up beating what was this? Who's this? Who's this jerk? This jerk. Zab Judah, man. Zab Judah. And my dude's been fighting for a minute, you know. He got to avenge that loss. He beat quite a number of folks throughout the reign. But since jumping into welterweight, you know, I forget the last guy he fought. But I remember he beat Sean Porter. He stopped Sean Porter. He stopped Kell Brook. He fought that guy what? Kavalauskas? Kavalauskas? That dude? I forget that man, his long ass name. Amir Khan, Benavidez, Jeff Horn that was his jump to it for the WBO titles. Um his last joint at the super lightweights, the junior welterweight. He had beat was it he fought he beat Diaz, was it that? Yeah, Diaz. Oh no. He beat Ndongo. There you go. He beat Ndongo to unify all those titles, become undisputed, pretty much. But he had beat Lundy, Paul Stall. I remember he whooped Paul Stall, man. Actually, the Paul Stall fight was kind of interesting because he was a little rocky. Then he switched up, and then he just dominated Paul Stall. Gene before that, he whooped Gamboa. I was like, man, why he beat up Gamboa like that? And I think Gamboa he beat Gamboa when Gamboa came out of jail, was it? I think it was. Because Gamboa was locked up. So I think it was it him? Because I know there was two fights that happened. Um as far as Gamboa goes, there was one fight I remember. No. Gamboa, I'm thinking about Gamboa and AB. But yeah, Gamboa got locked up, then Gamboa came back. But Gamboa wasn't the same. Yoriokis was not the same. Yoriokis was not the same, and he got dogged. Um, but yeah, Bud's been Bud's been on a tear. Bud got the stance switches. He likes to mess with people and find the southpaw stance. Um, but that's like messing with cats. Like messing with cats. Uh, but I ain't mad at it, man. Bud is gangster. Bud is gangster. Very dangerous cat. Um, other than that, man, like psh, that's that corn-fed boy out there, though, man. But he going up 35. But he's going up facing Errol Spence Jr. And Errol Spence Jr. chilling. Even though Errol Spence is a Texas boy, motherfucker, you know what I mean? Texas claims him. Texas claims him, I think, if I remember correctly. But um, comes from Long Island. Yeah, but he Texas boy. He was born on Long Island. He claimed Texas. He about there. I'm Texas T. Everybody like watching Errol Spence there. But yeah, man. Um, he is currently the unified champion. He had the IBF title. That was his claim for fame. He managed to grab the IBF. Um, yeah, he grabbed the IBF. Then he had the WBC and the WBA. Yep. Then he was in the Olympics. He got all his amateur, his national titles and shit like that. He got the Golden Gloves, gold and silver, national championships for 3 years straight, gold, and national PAL championships, man. Um, yep, but it's pretty dope. And he's been on the tear coming up since it's been about what? Because he was fighting a little bit. Then he got picked up by Showtime. Yeah, and he's been on the tear since. Body shots, rocking people up. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't know this dude until like 2015. Yeah, like around 2015, he fought this dude, Samuel Vargas, and I was here in Brooklyn. He fought in Brooklyn, and from since then he's been pretty good. I missed out on a couple of fights, but I did manage to catch up after those. The Barrera fight he won when he beat up Chris Algieri. I feel bad because Chris has gotten a bad rap throughout boxing. He's a really great mind, analyst wise, and he's a good cornerman coach. But when he beat up what was it they called him? What's that guy? Was it Provodnikov? Yeah, Provodnikov was it? They call him Russian Rocky or some shit like that. That dude. The dude would just take punishment. Y'all remember. I probably remember. Provodnikov. There you go. Provodnikov. But yeah, he fought that dude and he won the title. But it was controversial because Algeria didn't quite win it. They robbed that dude. Then we didn't really see him again. But yeah, he beat Algeria, wrapped that up in 5. He beat Bundu. I didn't even think, Bundu was tough. He knocked out Bundu, bro. Then he beat, he beat Kell broke the eye socket. Lamont Peterson, finished Peterson. Ocampo, light work. Mikey Garcia, I don't think Mikey should have been there, man. Mikey was oversized, man. Mikey was undersized. There you go. That's what I meant. Mikey was undersized. Spence was oversized. Mikey just looked way too little to even be in welterweight, bro. That was a bad decision. And later on, we found out Mikey Garcia was going through some things. And I don't know, man. His brother didn't have his best intentions behind him, man. Because I don't know what the fuck that dude was thinking. Robert Garcia, man. I don't know. Motherfucker wilding. But yeah, he beat Sean Porter with the split decision. They share that same opponent somewhat because Crawford finished Porter. He beat Danny Garcia, long long time coming. Good fight though, but he beat Garcia, and then he fought Ugas after Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao. He broke down Ugas. That's just nuts. Um, but yeah, man. So that's the fight we're gonna get in the main event. Isaac Cruz is in the co-main. Now, Isaac Cruz has an opportunity of a lifetime as far as this lightweight thing goes. Um, Isaac Cruz is 24-2. He's fighting a dude by the name of Giovanni Cabrera, who's 21-0. Isaac has an opportunity to get this fight, win this fight, and possibly find a way to find one of the kings, the lightweight kings. Now, we keep talking about this. I keep throwing this term out there, but it's out there. It's real. You know, we got Haney because Haney got the titles, but Haney's gonna move up, so those titles are gonna go and separate themselves. But Haney gonna move up. When he comes back down, we don't know, but it was Haney, Shakur, Tank, Loma. We had Ryan in there. Ryan is actually in there. Lopez. Teofimo Lopez. Isaac Cruz has an opportunity to get in there. It's actually Lopez before Garcia. I'm just gonna say him randomly, but yeah, Lopez. And then you have Isaac Cruz, who's on the outside looking in. Cruz has been shown to be one of the toughest opponents for Tank. So much so, Tank even said, "Yo, I don't want to fight that guy again. I don't want to rematch with that guy." I don't blame him. Isaac Cruz is a very tough customer. That dude don't back off from an opponent. He's technical when he needs to be. He can make a fight real messy. He got power. And he got cardio to carry this shit. So, yo, if he could get that, he could find his way knocking to one of these opponents. If I'm Cruz, I keep picking these wins up. Boy, I get this win here. I'm calling out Ryan Garcia, boy. Line me up with a fight with Garcia. Why not? I want to see Garcia here. Garcia come back to fight. I want Garcia. Give me Garcia. I want a name. Give me a name. I'll take Garcia. 135. Give me Garcia. Give me Jojo Diaz. Give me a Jojo Diaz. I think Jojo Diaz sits at 130, right? I think he tried 135. I think he probably gonna go back down. Yeah. Give me a name. He fought that well against Tank Davis, bruh. I'm trying to line up Ryan Garcia. They want to see Ryan overcome that shit. That dude's built for a guy like Ryan, man. Sometimes. Stylistically, let that happen. We got Nonito Donaire, who's moved into this card now, man. Facing Alejandro Santiago, the WBC World Bantamweight title, man. Donaire, I think, if I remember, Donaire's going to be defending. He picked up this title at being 40 years old, man. But he's still here. It's crazy. We see Inoue fight Tuesday. Inoue fought this man twice. Managed to get the win. Hard fought, unanimous decision. Second fight, blew him out the water. Donaire's still picking up titles, though. He's fighting this dude, Alejandro Santiago, is 25-3-5 out of Mexico. Santiago, boy, oh boy. Santiago's a case in itself, man. The guy's 27 years old, coming off of a 3-fight win streak. His last loss was against um Mr. Mr. Gary Antonio Russell, not Gary Russell Jr. Gary Antonio Russell. Um, but yeah, other than that, he finished well. Two guys by decision last year. So we also got Yoenis Teles, who's 4-0, facing Sergio Garcia, who's 34-2. That's at super welterweight, junior middleweight. Steven Nelson, who's 18-0, facing this is super middleweight. Shit. 10-4-1 Rowdy Legend Montgomery. Rowdy Legend Montgomery. Oh, wow, that's a long ass name. Brahmaviji Shania Montgomery Jr. Brahmaviji. 37 years old. Somebody got to see this picture, man. He got some ring girls with him, boy. Yeah, he had no. If he didn't take no opportunities at him at trying to smash, L-Mans. L-Mans. Them ladies are bad. Jesus Christ. But yeah, 10-4-1. Super middleweight. Jose Salas, who's 12-0. Fighting Aston Paliste out of the Philippines, who's 28-5-1. That's going to be at super bantam. Demir Zamora, who's 11-0. Fights Nicholas Uzolin in the prelim, 9-4-1 out the Philippines. At lightweight, Kevin Salvatore, 11-0 versus Deshaun Panther. Oh, Prather. Deshaun Prather, 14-1. Jabin Cholette, 7-0. Fights Michael Portales, 3-1-1. Justin Valoria, who's 2-0. Fights Pedro Penunuri. Okay, 5-0. That's at junior lightweight. Yes. Okay. That's gonna be that card. Good stuff though. I like Spence. I like Crawford. I'm taking Crawford. Gonna be a tough fight though. Um, but they gotta get this done, man. Another great fight for boxing. Jesus. It's gonna be noisy, man. Which leaves us to the Saturday as well. The other side is combat sports world, mixed martial arts. Live at Salt Lake City, Utah. We have ourselves UFC 291. A super stacked card, 12 fights. This will start at 6:30 with the early prelims. The whole prelim, let's just say the prelims in general. Because they try to break the prelims, early prelims. You can watch it on UFC Fight Pass, but you can watch it on ESPN Plus as well. The early prelims, you can watch on ESPN Plus, that's the door. It'll all be on ESPN, at least until the pay-per-view starts. But what we had, yeah. So Miguel Baeza was supposed to be on this card, but he withdrew. Johan Lanes was supposed to be on this card, but he withdrew. I would have put all my time and effort in picking Matt Semmelsberger if that was the case. And Joanne Wood was supposed to fight Priscilla Cachoeira, but Joanne Wood withdrew. So we got this 12 fight card. Let's go. So to open up the card on the prelims, we have Miranda Maverick versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Miranda Maverick's 11-5. Priscilla Cachoeira is 12-4. Miranda Maverick, the young prospect that came into the UFC just a little while ago. Love this girl. She's super dope. 25 years old, representing Missouri. The trains the Elevation Fight Team in Colorado. So far, she's been 2-3 in her last 5. It's been kind of rocky, man. After the win against Jillian Robertson, her first 2 UFC wins, she beat Niana Jujua, Dr. Stoppage. She beat Jillian Robertson, hard fought decision, unanimous. She got the robbery split against Macy Barber. Then she came in at late notice to fight and then got ruled on by Erin Blanchfield. She beat Sabina Mazo. But at this point, who wasn't beating Sabina Mazo? I was so behind Sabina Mazo and Mazo, man. Damn. She beat Shannon Young. And recently, just a while ago, last month, she fought Jasmine Jasudavicius, Jazzy J. Jazzy J came in there and did really good. Um, Miranda Maverick being the jiu-jitsu, improving the striking, the Muay Thai striking styles that she has, improving her boxing. The wrestling / jiu-jitsu was nullified by Jazzy, man. Jazzy's a big girl for 125. But Jazzy managed to keep her base and nullify a lot of the single leg attempts. You know, Miranda was trying to shoot singles. Certain situations you need a double leg, and she wasn't doing that. Jazz was able to float over the single legs, put a lot of ground and pound on Miranda, beat Miranda bad, man. Um, so hopefully Miranda Maverick could come back in this one. Start fast and quick on the feet, and try to beat her opponent to the punch. Problem is that punch can be devastating. Priscilla Cachoeira, man. As much as we say we laugh and joke throughout the MMA community about Priscilla Cachoeira and her basic fighting skills, when Priscilla's on, it's problematic. The zombie girl, 12-4, man. She's riding a 2-fight win streak with MMA Masters, which is kind of funny. Wasn't MMA Masters the gym in Chicago? Let me look this up real quick. Florida. No, they were in Chicago, but I guess they moved to Florida. Yeah, they were in Chicago because Ricardo Lamas was there, and Ricardo Lamas, from Chicago. Yes, Anthony Rocco Martin was training there. Colby Covington was training there. Yeah, they moved to freaking Florida. Okay, but no, I remember it was in Chicago. They say I'm gonna look it up, so we'll have it when we go live on Saturday on OK Live. But yeah, Toporia's over there. Yeah, see Toporia's in there too. Motherfuckers, man. But yeah, Cachoeira got her wins here. The 7 wins by KO TKO. She got no submission wins and 5 by decision. She's been submitted twice, and she lost twice by decision. But
my frequent heartburn had me taking Anna.
Oh, damn these odds. But yeah, last 2 wins she had. The last fight she had, she beat Ariane Lipsky last year. That was the fight that got pushed to bantamweight because of the weight cut, weight issue. I forget. Was it like a weight issue? Somebody missed weight. And they pushed it to 135. I think it was Lipsky had missed weight. Yeah, Lipsky kind of missed weight or something, and they or Lipsky, I got hurt, some shit like that. They canceled it. They rebooked it, and they rebooked it at a catch weight. That's what happened. So she beat Lipsky. Before that, she beat Kim. Kim kind of fucked up. I know that. Before that, she lost to Jillian Robertson. That was that whole eye poke thing. But then before that, she beat Shayna Dobson in 40 seconds. And Gina Mazzani, after Mazzani was winning the first round, she goes and gets ramrodded in the second round of that fight, which is still hilarious to me to this day. Because I'm like, girl, you had a simple path to victory. How did you let that happen? And she looking at the ref, help me, please. But yeah, Cachoeira's mainly like flat footed. But when she got to throw her bombs, she throw her bombs pretty quick. The takedown defense is a little suspect. So we'll see if Miranda Maverick put on a little bit of extra size and aims to use a double leg instead of a single for the takedowns. Get the submission in and win. If not, don't want to go and get into a slugfest with Priscilla. If she loses here, I think the UFC gonna let her go, man. And I don't want to see that. She gonna go back to regionals. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with fighters I enjoy seeing getting beat up. But Miranda Maverick is 25, so she has a lot of time to come back, get better. But I'm not trying to think like that. I'm like, Miranda, please win. Please. Please, girl. Please. Please. Um, so we got Matthew Semmelsberger, who's 11-5 versus Uros Medic. Semmelsberger's been pretty dope for 170. He's a big boy. Semi the Jedi. 30 years old, 6'1", 75.5-inch reach. Representing the Crazy 88 Jiu-Jitsu team. 1 submission, 6 wins by KO TKO, 4 by decision. He's been stopped twice with 3 decision losses, my fault. Last couple fights, been pretty good. Since coming to the UFC, he's been alright. He's been in some battles, like for real. Think about it. His 3 losses, decisions. The wins, some good wins. He beat Minus in his debut. He knocked out Jason Witt. Jason Witt's a scrub. Chaos Williams, he had that crazy back and forth. If it wasn't for Chaos's wrestling, I don't know what would have happened. Martin Sano, he knocked out Sano in 15 seconds, which was hilarious. Fletcher, he put the wrestling on Fletcher and used some anti-wrestling. Alex Morono pulled out the veteran game and beat him. Jake Matthews, he pieced up Jake Matthews bad. After Jake Matthews just beat Andre Fiallo, Jake went in there and got pieced up bad. Damn. And then Jeremiah Wells was a split decision. Wells' submission, jiu-jitsu game, the takedown saved him in that one. Because boy, oh boy, Wells got dropped. Wells got dropped 2 rounds straight. Shit. So, Semmelsberger got good. He could wrestle good. His grappling is not like super, super strong, but he knows how to use takedowns. And his top is top heavy, pretty top heavy, so that's pretty good. Defensively, he defends some of these takedowns, but if you're above average, you'll be able to take him down. He's going up against Medic, and Medic is moving up weight. He usually fights at 155, but he's moving up to 170. And he's 6'1" with a 71-inch reach, representing Serbia. Now, this dude I liked because I seen him on the Contender Series. He smoked somebody. I said, Jesus Christ. He has no decision losses. No decision wins either. You're getting finished, okay? He got 100% finishing rate in his fight so far. Come on. 100% finishing rate in his wins. He only lost to Jalen Turner, and that fight was pretty good too. But he finished Omar Morales' last fight out. He lost to Jalen Turner before that. He slept Alon Cruz, beat Mikey Gonzalez on the contender series. This guy was wrestling and fighting out in, was it Alaska? I think it was. Yeah, Alaska FC, where Jared Cannonier was fighting at. Boy got crazy skills. He can grapple a little bit. I want to see how his grappling fares here, but I think these dudes are going to be playing range style boxing. Semmelsberger will have the reach advantage. I want to see how the footwork is because I think Medic is going to be the faster guy on the feet, but Semmelsberger will be the cleaner striker. Semmelsberger got a nasty he has a nasty, like, life altering right hand. And if you get caught with it, you're going to bed. That right hand has accuracy and dangerous power. And either it gets thrown regularly or it gets thrown as a counter. My God, you have to be very, very careful with Matthew Semmelsberger. Because if not, it's Sleepsville. It's instant Sleepsville. The next one, at flyweight, CJ Vergara faces Vinicius Salvador. Both these dudes come from the contender series. Vergara 11-4-1. I think he came. Yeah, I don't even remember from what year, but I remember he was on here. He had a weird fight, and actually no, he had a good debut, a good contender series showing, but all the other fights since then have been kind of awkward. He had the finish, the knee to the body. He finished Bruno, but Ode Osborne beat him using takedowns. Remember that Ode became a wrestler. He struck pretty good, but he became more of a wrestler. Clayton Rodriguez, he beat Clayton by split decision. That was good because that's when he tried to wrestle Clayton a little bit. He struck a little bit more. He got real aggressive. Tatsuro Tyra beat him with the submission game, of course. But then he came on that last fight against Lacerda, the most obscene fight because Lacerda damn near finished him the first round. He was doing the run across and around the cage. He did the Chelsea Chandler before Chelsea Chandler. This dude was hurt so bad, he ran. He was legit on his bicycle. He jumped off his bicycle, hopped on his Kawasaki, and was just trying to get away from Lacerda, man. And Lacerda gave him the worst first round probably in his career. But the second round, Lacerda gassed so damn bad. Yo, Lacerda gassed horribly and got beaten to a pulp, man. You hate to see it. Unless you're a CJ Vergara fan, then you love to see Lacerda just gas and get beat up. But he's going up against the Salvador. Salvador's out of Brazil. Boy, oh boy, phenomenal, man. 14-5. This dude, training with the Ribas family. He's only been finished 3 times. He got 2 losses by decision. But he got 13 finishes. Well, 14. He got 100% finishing rate too. No decisions. He lost against Victor Altamirano last fight out. But that was Altamirano pressing the action and using wrestling, damn it. But other than that, he beat Shannon Ross up on the contender series. and before that, he was lighting folks up, man. Um, he lit up quite a bit of people. Interesting enough, Jafel Filo, somebody he lost to, is actually signed to the UFC. Jafel picked up a win recently, so that was I think that was last week. Yeah, he picked up a win, so big props to Jafel. But yeah, Salvador, long range, high volume, solid gas tank. Um, Solid gas tank or decent gas tank? Decent gas tank. When when he's applying pressure, is good. Takedown defense is okay. Is pretty good. He has a jujitsu game, so do be very wary of it. But he does a lot of his work on the feet, long kicks, the up kicks, not well, the front kicks, push kicks, the jabs that he throws out there, and the fact that he's able to cut distance so quick because he's rangy. So you could get hit from the outside, and then all of a sudden flying knee, all of a sudden head kick, spinning back kick. Next thing you know, he's all up in your face trying to throw elbows and knees and shit. It's a nightmare, man. It's a nightmare. CJ is gonna have to try to get on his wrestling. If not, if he can't slow this fight down, Salvador swallows him up, man. They got Salvador as an underdog, if I remember this. So I'm taking Salvador. They got Jake Matthews next fight out against Darius Flowers. Matthews is 18-6, still trying to find his footing in his welterweight division. This guy is a big body, man, but I don't know what the hell going on with that man's head. He's still young though, 28 years old. 12 wins by finish, 6 by decision. Um, he's been knocked out once, submitted 3 times. And 2 losses by decision. But yeah, see, I just talked about the Semmelsberger fight. He gets beat up to a pulp by Semmelsberger. Before that, he knocked out Andre Fiallo in his return. He got submitted by Sean Brady before that, but had a 3-fight win streak where he beat Diego Sanchez, Emil Meck, and Rostam Akhman, all by decision. He got submitted by Rocco Martin before that, but then he had a couple wins too, and he beat Li Jingliang too, and all that cool stuff. Matthews is a big body. He got a good jiu-jitsu game. I think it's one of the more underrated jiu-jitsu games. But he plays a lot with the hands now. He's become the striker who's improved a lot in his boxing and his footwork. It's been a help, but it's also kind of been a detriment because he commits too much to the striking, not enough when mixing up the game and adding the wrestling when he needs to. And so he leaves himself out there to get clipped, and clipped bad at times. He's going up against Darius Flowers, who'll be making his official debut. Official UFC debut. Yes. He came in last season, the Contender Series. He did like my tweet about it because they were fighting. Him and the dude was fighting, and dude was trying to go for a submission. There was an armbar, a triangle, and my man's Flowers picked him up, said, "Hell nah." Slammed this dude to the ground. That man's whole shoulder popped out. That was a wrap. That thing was ugly, man. Oh my god. But he's riding a 4-fight win streak from that. And 2 finishes, a first round finish against Tim Hill and Hiley. A dude by the name of Daniel Gadley. He finished by punches in round 2. And Tim Caron, he beat by unanimous decision. Yeah, he's fought some guys in his record. Oh, he has an amateur and a pro record. So I always tell you, don't sleep on these guys that got amateur records because it picks up. He fought Fremd in the amateurs. Um, Yeah, Josh Friend. He fought, but he's fought guys. He beat Adam Sulla. Sulla, yes, he got spinning wheel kicked by Uriah Hall. That guy. Um, he also fought the legend Bobby Volker. Um, he was supposed to fight Kyle Prepelec. But yeah, he fought Bobby Volker. Um, Ryan Leniger, I know of. But yeah, this guy's a big brute, man. Crazy power, boxing. He throws awkward head kicks from time to time, but his power's in his hands, man. He's kind of like a Rampage Jackson type guy, but we're gonna see how really polished his striking is, and he's gonna need to polish his striking against a guy like Matthews, because Matthews, regardless of the ups and downs, Matthews on. But that's the big problem though, because if Matthews is on, he looks good, but when this motherfucker is off, he is off, and he'll just leave himself there to get clipped, man. Psh. But I do want to see how this turns out. Matthews wrestling, I don't think it's gonna be as strong as Darius Flowers is wrestling, because Flowers is like a high school, college type wrestler. Um, I do want to see how this turns out. Next fight, we got Roman Kopylov against Claudio Ribeiro. This is a middleweight fight. Kopylov is 10-2. Um, he's a name that some of y'all guys probably don't really know or probably seen, but y'all like, he ain't gonna be a big deal. He's 32 years old, got a combat sambo background, but does a lot of good boxing. His boxing is pretty freaking fantastic. Um, 9 wins by KO TKO, 1 win by decision. He's lost once by submission and once by decision. He's never been stopped by strikes. And his last 2 fights have been pretty good. He stopped Punahele Soriano, which is tough. And he beat Alessio Di Chirico. Other than that, he lost to Albert Duraev because he takedown defense. Carl Roberson he lost to. Same thing, takedown defense. Other than that, he's finished all the other guys. That's it. Good footwork. He used to throw a lot of kicks. And my whole critique of this dude Kopylov was that Kopylov is a boxer. As a boxer, stick to your punches. You have a fantastic jab. He has a very quick fucking jab. And he really throws really good combinations. Whether he's outside or inside, he snaps off the quick punch combinations. Then you'll push off with a kick. Establish the distance again, and then work from outside with the jabs and the straight punches or whatever. He hits the head. He tags up the body work. He does really good body work as well. But as I said, before when he came into the UFC, he was doing these stupid spinning back kicks and all this extra dumb shit. Like, for what? If you're not establishing the stuff with punches, then what the hell are you doing it for? So he was getting ruled. Now his last 2 fights, especially against the one against Soriano, he threw those kicks. He threw those punches. My fault. He threw the punches. He jabbed up Soriano. Soriano wasn't even able to get inside. He took away the inside game from Soriano. Soriano was afraid to engage, really, and try to find his way to force a fight inside without really trying to attack the body of Kopylov. So Kopylov was able to go out there, use a push kick, and because he was able to throw the jabs out there so much and use the combinations, then he was able to establish the kicks where he started throwing the kicks, the spinning kicks, attacking the lead leg of Soriano, and picked them apart and finished them. That's how you establish your boxing game. You can't just be out there, you know what I mean? Well, establish your boxing game, but use your boxing more often to establish your kicking game. Shit. Even Wonder Boy throws a jab out there before he just goes screaming, spinning back kick, heel, You know what I mean? Axe kick, whatever the hell he does, you know? You gotta do that. You gotta fight smart. So, Kopylov, that's Kopylov's side. Now, Claudio Ribeiro, 11-3. He came off of last season's contender series. Um, 11-3, as I said, 31 years old. Um, he picked up this win. He's 11-3. All finishes. He's been finished twice, once by sub, once by KO TKO. He's lost by decision. He came in, contender series, 25-second knockout. Beautiful. Came in, lost to Abdul Razak Al Hassan because Al Hassan implemented a wrestling game in the first round, got Claudio's arms tired, beat him up in the second. Holmes had no shot. No shot. Whatever Holmes was trying to do, he didn't do it, and he got beat the hell up. He got caught off guard, I should say, because Ribeiro went patient, and Ribeiro did to Holmes what Al Hassan did to him, and went and grappled, got Holmes' arms tired, and then started throwing some real nasty shots. Actually, damn near took Holmes out in the first round, and then went out there and finished him in the second. Ribeiro's a guy who he's pretty straightforward. He's out there. He's kind of like the middleweight Michel Pereira almost. We ain't get to see that explosiveness in the UFC yet. With the as far as like dynamic finishes with knees and flying knees and all that stuff. He did try to throw some of that stuff against Holmes, but like the big pow, kapow kicks and KOs yet like that. So we'll see. But he is explosive. His gas tank seems to be a little limited. So using a patient, more competent approach helps out a lot with that. But if he mixes it up, he'll be something. He could be something. He got a pretty decent run in the UFC. But against, you know what I mean? A guy like Kopylov, with Kopylov, you got to make sure you have no fear. Kopylov's going to keep it very technical. If you could just take away the jab, you take away Kopylov's jab, Kopylov's a sit and duck. You cut angles, and you cut the jab off for Kopylov. Can Kopylov wrestle? Somewhat. Does he though? Not really. So I think Ribeiro has the size to defend those takedowns, the early onset takedowns. I think Ribeiro has the explosiveness to land something crazy on Kopylov. It'll be up to Kopylov being very technical to fighting Ribeiro. But Ribeiro could switch this whole fight up. My shit is question mark right now because I don't know. But we'll see how that turns out. A very questionable fight. I want to lean more towards Kopylov. I think Kopylov could be smart enough to fight his fight and keep it technical. But I think he could make the mistake and Ribeiro, go out with that same approach, look to tire Kopylov early, and then go out there and bang on him later in the first, and then continue on within the fight. Better footwork, Kopylov. Who's more technical, Kopylov. Who has the bigger power, Ribeiro. The explosiveness, Ribeiro's side. It's a very interesting matchup. I like the matchup though. That's the 5th fight on the card. Next fight, the Black Beast is on the prelims. Jesus. Derek Lewis faces Marcos Rogerio de Lima, man. Oh my God. What are we doing here? Derek Lewis, the career of Derek Lewis has been a very interesting one. Because Derek Lewis fought for a title twice. Derek Lewis has managed to get himself in the top 5. Derek Lewis has beaten some of the best heavyweights this division has to offer. Derek Lewis is on the prelims. That's some shit I didn't expect to say in 2023. But number 11, Derek Lewis. Yes, number 11. Derek Lewis is facing Marcos Rogerio de Lima. A win here will get de Lima in the damn rankings. And since moving up, because I think he was a light heavyweight, becoming a heavyweight has been pretty good for him. Representing American top team. He's up there in age, 38 years old. 6'1" with the 75-inch reach. Out of his 21 wins, he has about 17 of them by finish, 4 by decision. He's only been stopped by strikes once. He's been submitted 5 times, including that one nasty forearm choke by Alexander Romanov. I still can't forget that shit. That was nasty. But yeah, so far, it's been interesting. Let's see. Yes, I think it was Adam Warstrick. He won in his heavyweight run. He beat him. That was back in 2018. He lost to Stefan Struve in 2019. Beat Ben Sassoli. You remember that guy who had like a cup of coffee in the UFC during 2020? He beat that guy, finished him. Romanov, he got choked with the forearm. Beat Maurice Green by unanimous decision. Stopped Ben Rothwell in less than a minute. Lost to Blagoy Ivanov. But submitted Andre Arlovsky. And then beat Waldo Cortez Acosta recently. Earlier this year. That was actually in April. De Lima's big. That's one thing. He's big. He has his high level jiu-jitsu, but he's big. Everything he throws, big power. He got nasty leg kicks. He's fast. And he carries big power in his shots, man. His right hand is pretty heavy. Fuck is heavy. And he closes distance pretty quick on the finishes. If there's a critique on him, it will probably be if you're a big-time wrestler, you can land on him. If you're not afraid of the striking, you can land on him. And this is going to be one of these do-or-die situations for Derek Lewis. Now, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, we mentioned, what a career he's had in the UFC. He's also 38 years old, 6'3" with a 79-inch reach. Out of his 26 wins, 23 of them have been by finish, 4 have been by decision. He's been stopped by strikes 7 times and submitted twice. He has 2 decision losses. And he's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's 1-4 in his last 5. He's been finished in all of those losses. That is the problem here. Spivak, he fought earlier this year, lost by an arm triangle choke in the first round. Pavlovich finished him in a little under a minute. That one was bad. That was just a swarming. Tai Tuivasa, the nasty back and forth that ended up with him being knocked out by elbow. Before all that, though, he did knock out Chris Dawkins. But he lost to Cyril Gahn by TKO, ground and pound in the 3rd round of that interim title. Before that, he was beating up everybody. You know what I mean? Just think about it, though. Like in the UFC, since coming to the UFC, he only lost to Matt Mitrione, Sean Jordan, Mark Hunt, Daniel Cormier, JDS, and then the 4 guys I mentioned before that. Psh. This dude, crazy power. Insane power. Technique, I don't know. Technique question mark. Explosiveness for sure. Gas tank is questionable. Always the gas tank is questionable, man. And a lot of people are questioning his heart. Is his heart still in it anymore? Because some of these losses, just like, yo, I'm getting hit. I'm not even trying anymore. So, sometimes it looks that way. Other times, the fight with Pavlovich, people were upset because they said the ref called it too early. Derek Lewis got upset, but Derek Lewis kind of slipped, fell, and curled up. I'm going to go in here and see. He could throw a big high kick. He still got this punching ability, but we got to see. You know what I mean? Is he going to cut some more weight? He's going to try to get a little more lean? He's going to get big? He'll put more muscle mass? What he's going to do? Because he's going up against a... Well, Jerio's not playing that, but Jerio's really trying to make a run here. DeLima's really trying to make a run. I hope Black Beast can get it done. I hope he can. But this shit is going to be tough. Tough. Next fight we got on the prelim. The premier prelim. It'll probably switch by Saturday. Trevin Giles faces Gabriel Bonfim at welterweight. Now, Gabriel, his brother Ishmael, currently lost. He lost. He lost against Benoit Saint Denis. Outside of that, he's not his brother. Different guys. So, a little pressure is going to be on the Bonfim bros. A little pressure. But let's go. Trevin Giles, 16-4. 30 years old, 6 foot tall, 74-inch reach out of the War Training Center in Houston, Texas. This guy got 11 wins by finish. He's been finished 4 times. 5 by decision. This is another man whose IQ is here and then not there. Lapse in IQ. The same thing with Jake Matthews. Both of these motherfuckers have lapse in IQ. You don't know what you're going to get. But yeah, he fought Preston Parsons last time, earlier this year. He won. Split decision, though. Split. Preston Parsons. He fought Louis Cozy, beat Louis Cozy. But before that, he got slept by Michael Morales in his freaking his welterweight debut, and Dricus du Plessis in his last fight at middleweight. Trevin Giles, okay footwork, okay hands. He got good power. He can wrestle a little bit. The gas tank is all right. It holds up okay. Holds up pretty well. Holds up pretty well for the 3 rounds. He's okay. He's not a bad fighter. But it's just IQ. IQ, jump out the window. You know what I mean? His IQ is like Jeff Hardy is to ladders. You know what I mean? And once you see it, he's going crazy. It's like to hell with it, You see it, you want to jump off it. And that's how he does with his IQ. You see the IQ? Genius idea. I'm gonna jump off it. Do something stupid. He's going up against Gabriel Bonfim, though, who's 14-0. Maratina, 25 years old, 6'1", 72-inch reach. Boy got you already know. No losses. All his fights are finishes, 100% finishing rate. 3 by KO TKO, 11 by submission. Last fight, Mounir Lazzez. He finished Mounir Lazzez. He embarrassed Mounir Lazzez. Mounir got lit up. And Mounir got pieced up on the feet somewhat. Then Monier tried to throw some strikes. Monier got hit with some strikes. Monier tried to go for a takedown, which was a bad idea, and gets caught in the guillotine choke. Trey Waters, he fought on there on the Contender Series. Got pieced up a little bit. They exchanged. Waters went for a bad decision. Got Von Flue choked unconscious. Bonfim is a bad kid, man. This is a bad dude. The Bonfim brothers are bad, dangerous dudes. Dangerous dudes with the striking, but more so dangerous with the jiu-jitsu. Um, Gabriel's quick on the feet, good footwork. Knows how to be a matador in the fight. Makes you make mistakes. Goes out there and capitalizes on some things. It's a good matchup for Gabriel. Giles is a dude who has good skills, but as I mentioned, IQ out the window. Um, this could be one or two. It's gonna be a smooth fight for Gabriel Bonfim, or a very difficult fight for Trevin Giles. Um, and then when I say that, I really mean that. Um, but we'll see how it plays out. See how it plays out. Now we have the main card. Yay! Main card kicks off with some dudes, boy, some dudes. As number 12, Michael Chiesa faces Kevin Holland. Holland looking to make a splash. Which is kind of weird. Kevin did make a splash in the welterweight division. But it wasn't against, you know, that whole screw up at UFC 278, was it? Was it 278? 279? 279, there you go. No, that whole mix up with Chimaev. When he made the welterweight debut, who was it? Yeah, it was a Cowboy Oliveira. Cowboy Oliveira, then he fought Tim Means. Then it was Chimaev that he lost to. Then he had the crazy fight with Wonderboy Thompson that ended up being stopped because he broke his arm. He kept trying to block those goddamn kicks. And too many of those goddamn head kicks that Wonderboy Thompson wanted to keep throwing broke. What a fight that was. Woo! That was back in December of last year. But he fought Ponzinibbio earlier this year on the 287 card. And you want to talk about back and forth power, man. Boy, oh boy, that was a fight. Pons was not trying to give up until he had to give up. He got dropped by Holland in the left hook, man. The left hook put him away. Pons still tough, and Pons still lurking around in this division. But that's what leads him into this fight here against Chiesa. Now with Kevin Holland got funky stand up. We all critique him about his takedown defense, which I think is still a problem. It's still a problem, but we'll see in this one. But yeah, Holland is a long guy. He's a rangy dude. He has good reach. He actually has insane reach. 30 years old with the 81-inch reach advantage. 81-inch reach, I should say, not reach advantage. But he's 6'3". 81-inch reach in the welterweight division is nuts. Travis Lutter, jiu-jitsu trained. Travis Lutter, big time. As Mike Goldberg said, the MJ of BJJ. Get the fuck out of here. But Kevin Holland, really good boxing. He has good karate background. He has the boxing. His boxing is pretty good. And his counter shots are pretty dope. You're going to need that. You're going against Michael Chiesa, man, the Maverick, 35 years old. It's funny. One guy's nicknamed the Maverick. The girl in the opener is Miranda Maverick. But yeah, Chiesa, 35 years old. representative of Sick Jutsu, 16-6. 10 of his wins are by submission, 6 by decision. He's been stopped by strikes once, submitted 4 times. Um, and currently riding a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Sean Brady back back in 2021. Like damn, it's been that long since Chiesa fought. Oh yeah, but Chiesa was dealing with some things, man. I think he lost his dad, I think it was. So it's been kind of rough. It was rough. He had a rough year last year. So um, it's good to see him back here. He lost to Sean Brady, epic grappling bout. We got to see what Sean Brady was about though, and bless. He lost. Thank you. He lost to Vicente Luque, first round submission. Vicente Luque, the dangerous man. Before that though, he was on a 4-fight win streak. He beat Neil Magny. He beat RDA. He beat Diego Sanchez, all by unanimous decision, and submitted Carlos Condit. That was back in 28. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, he finished Carlos Condit. That's the inactivity, man. Damn. Now, we talk about Chiesa, and Chiesa got some size on him. 75.5-inch reach, 6'1". Holland will have the size advantage. But the jiu-jitsu advantage will go to Chiesa, of course. Striking goes to Kevin Holland. Um, the speed will go to Kevin Holland. The IQ of things, that's a toss-up. Chiesa fights pretty well when he's implementing his game. And his game is pretty much, let me jab, let me throw some leg kicks. Fish on those leg kicks, because he throws some leg kicks, see if you're going to bite. You're going to try to throw something or try to attack the leg with a takedown. That's where he can implement his jiu-jitsu. He'll throw the jabs to get you open for you to commit to something so he can shoot for a takedown. Now, that's whether he gets the waist lock to the leg trip. He shoots for a single. He has a wrestling background, so he will shoot doubles as well. Or, he tries to get up there and use this, sweeps. He has his ways. He has his jiu-jitsu ways and his wrestling ways again takedowns. That's what makes Chiesa a very complex customer when it comes to dealing with him and takedown-wise, fight-wise. But if you can keep the fight on the feet for the most part and just lay away with him, and I know that Holland has the skill set to do so, just keep things pretty straightforward. Throw the kicks. Make sure if you're throwing leg kicks, make sure you snap those things fast. Keep the footwork active and stay behind your jab. Stay behind your jab. You could catch Chiesa with the 1-2 because Chiesa will be there for a 1-2. Of course he will, because he's going to try to pump his jab. And as I said, Holland has a speed advantage here. He could pretty much boogie all day on this one. I'm going to take Holland. I hope his jiu-jitsu defense holds up, though. Takedown defense holds up. Because if not, Chiesa probably take this one. But we see. The next one, I can't believe we're here again. But we're here again. This is the only unranked fight that's on the card. The unranked fight that's on the main card. As Tony Ferguson returns to lightweight to face Bobby Green. God, man. We're doing this again. Tony Ferguson, the former... When he won that interim title in 2017, right? If I remember correctly, yeah. I think he beat Kevin Lee in 2017. Was it for the title? I could see it. Yes, October 2017. That will stick in my head forever because that was the year Kevin Lee should have won the title, but because Kevin Lee fought with staff like a whole ass goofball, He gonna go catch Staff like a goofball and try to fight with Staff like a goofball. But albeit the Madman, El Kukui, CSO, champ shit only, is out here. 20 wins by finish, 5 by decision. And this man's 20. Yeah, let me say that again. Yeah, 20. Yeah, 20 by finish, 5 by decision. And this man's 25 wins, 33 fight career, 33 fight career. Yeah, 8 losses. You know what I mean? He's only been stopped 4 times in his career. And he only has 4 losses by decision in his career, which is interesting. But he's on this 5-fight losing streak. Jesus Christ, man. The Eddie Bravo trained Tony Ferguson, man. Jiu-jitsu wise. This man came into the UFC through tough, fought all those folks. I think that was Brock Lesnar's dude. Then he came into the UFC. We got to talk about it, man. Fought Eve Edwards, yeah. No, he fought Ramsey Nijem, and he beat Nijem for the finale. There you go. He beat Aaron Riley. He beat Eve Edwards. He lost to Michael Johnson. But after that loss to Michael Johnson, he went on a run. Mike Rio finished by Darce. Finished by submission. Katsunori Kakuno, who was that awkward Japanese dude that used the Maeda stance. I don't understand why you use the Maeda stance in mixed martial arts. In a real, like, outside combat scenario, it would work. In MMA, using it traditional stance, no. Got finished in the first round. Danny Castillo, that was the fight that changed the whole landscape of, is positioning matter more or does damage matter more when you're fighting on the ground? This was the fight that I always credit to the change in how the judges judge the fights when it comes to the ground. Because in that situation, Danny Castillo had control on top of Tony Ferguson due to the takedowns. But Tony Ferguson was landing a lot of damaging shots from elbows off his back. And this is the fight that I always credit to how judges started changing the way they score fights as far as the groundwork goes. Now, Abel Trujillo, he submitted him rear naked choke. He beat Gleison Tebow same way. Josh Thompson, he beat that man to a bloody pulp. And through a couple of these fights, the Khabib fight fell out. Edson Barboza, bloody fight, beat that man, Darce choke. Lando Venata was the late notice fight because Chiesa, he was supposed to fight Chiesa and Chiesa fell out. So he fought Lando. Lando almost finished him. He still came back, finished Lando. RDA, he beat up RDA, man. RDA was a busted, bloody mess. And I think that was the first fight after RDA lost the title to Eddie Alvarez. Kevin Lee, I mentioned, that was the interim title bout. Submitted Kevin Lee in the third round. Anthony Pettis, that was when Tony Ferguson broke his leg. And then in about 3.5 months, magically healed, came back, and beat Anthony Pettis to a bloody pulp. Then he busted Donald Cerrone's eye. Well, busted Donald Cerrone's nose. Then Donald Cerrone blew his nose, fucked up the eye. Cerrone also had a messed up orbital. It made shit bad. But after that, the losses came. Gaethje stopped him in the 5th round for the interim title. Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, both beat him by decision. Chandler kicked that man, took his face off. And then Nate Diaz beat him at 279 with a fourth round guillotine choke. I don't know what type of Tony Ferguson we're going to get here. All I know is that when Tony Ferguson is on, madness ensues. Straight up insanity, unexpected techniques. His jiu-jitsu's madness. He can wrestle. He can throw elbows. He can throw crazy volume. But he's going up against a tried and true vet in Bobby Green, man. Bobby Green, 44 fights. Former King of the Cage champion, lightweight champ. 36 years old, 5'10 with the 71-inch reach. Currently riding a 2-fight losing streak. But he got 18 wins by finish, 11 by decision. He's lost 6 by finish, 8 losses by decision, 1 no contest. Last 2 fights, Drew Dober, that was the back and forth joint. Dober stopped him. Islam Makhachev, that was the one-way beating, man. Before that, though, he beat Nasrat Haqparast. He grappled a little bit. He beat Ali Quinta. He got into a crazy fight with Fiziev. Boy, that was when we started looking and people started questioning Fiziev. Like, yo, does Fiziev have holes in his game? We get worried. Fiziev fans are getting worried because it's like, oh, shit. Our guy might not be that guy. Thiago Moises, he lost to. But he beat Alan Patrick, Lando Venata, and Clay Guida by decision. Lost to Trinaldo and close, but he picked up some good wins, had some losses. But long-time journey guy, man. But he getting paid by the UFC. This is a dude who's very good at his stand-up. Using boxing fundamentals. Pops his jab out there. Use the Philly shell. The shoulder roll to block punches, rolls out. So a lot of those punches miss. Keeps the right hand up. Keeps one hand up. Uses the other shoulder to tuck. Protect the chin. Does pretty good for himself. Sometimes he can leave himself open for a straight punch. Sometimes you get caught in that Drew Dober type situation where you throw a punch, you miss, but then man rolls over, connects with the other. Or as I say here, Bobby Green got to come out here and fight a lights-out fight. So does Tony Ferguson. I think there's going to be a lot of respect between these two shown in this fight. Don't know if this is the last one for Tony. Don't know if this is the last one for Bobby Green. I think Bobby Green has signed a new contract a little while ago too. But this is going to be a really good fight. As I mentioned, Bobby Green going to come out here, play that boxing game. Tony's going to be out here. Tony got to avoid the jabbing. Bobby Green has quick hands. And he attacks high and low. He will attack the body with the jabs to try to keep you open so he can wing the hook. You got a nasty right hook, man. You got a nasty one, too, as well. So does Tony Ferguson. So does Tony. But this all is about if Tony comes out guns blazing. I also know that sometimes Tony can fight, look bad in the first round, pick up big in the second round. You can't quite do that shit against a guy like Bobby because Bobby will be on your ass. So I'm got to pick on Bobby Green on this one. If Tony Ferguson manages to win, a little bit of a shock. It'll be a much needed win. But yeah, man. I'm gonna take Bobby Green. I think Bobby has have the better footwork of the two. I think Bobby will have the striking advantage, putting the volume out there a lot more. And Tony, even though Bobby Green has had a long career. You know, Ferguson is a little older, and he's taken some bad damage in fights throughout his career. That's the big issue. So we'll see though. The next fight, whoo, bad news. As number 15, Michelle Pereira faces number seven, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Wonder Boy. Stephen Thompson, 17-6-1, the two-time UFC welterweight title challenger, a man who's still hunting for the title. 40 years old, 6 foot tall, 75-inch reach, represent upstate karate. His dad is one of his main coach. Also trains with TriStar Gym. So while his brother-in-law, Chris Weidman, is helping him train wrestling, he does get some of his Faraz Sahabi training, a little GSP look. You know what I mean? Here and there. You know, they homies. They be training, they be chilling at the karate combat events. So, true story, true story. But yo, out of this man's career, 9 wins by finish, 8 by decision. He's only been stopped once. He has 5 losses by decision. Last fight out was the Kevin Holland fight. Before that, he had 2 losses to Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns. Both these dudes have beaten this man in similar fashion. Gilbert Burns, well, it was Tyron Woodley who kind of drew up this game plan, but Gilbert Burns and Bilal Muhammad executed very good. Using the takedowns, a lot of pressure, use the striking, take away the legs, and implement the wrestling. Second and third attempts on the takedowns matter. We see that with Bilal. Bilal went for those second and third efforts. Gilbert Burns just went in for one heavy takedown. But because he has that jiu-jitsu, it was either I'm going to get you, I'm going to throw you with the waist lock, throw down, or waist lock, leg sweep, leg trip. And he went for those. Taking out the base of Wonder Boy and working the ground. Did that. Before that, though, he beat Jeff Neal by unanimous decision. He beat Vicente Luque by unanimous decision. 2 guys who respectively can strike. Jeff Neal, kickboxer, good dude, but he was coming off the damn kidney failure situation. Vicente Luque, he just pieced up Luque. War, that was a war until like the second round, I want to say. The second, third round, Wonder Boy threw it on him, man. All those goddamn kicks and all that volume, man. When Wonder Boy want to be a killer, he gonna be a killer. But before that he lost to Pettis Till, beat Masvidal, lost to Woodley, the draw, beat Rory, beat Hendricks. Wonder Boy's kickboxing is A1, man. He's one of the guys who has managed to implement point style kickboxing, point style taekwondo, point style kickboxing to make it work for mixed martial arts. He's been one of the guys. Yo, what's up, Gary? He's been one of the guys. MVP's been another guy. For as far as MMA goes, with point style kickboxing, we have Michelle Waterson who kind of does that. Holly Holm kind of does that. Yeah, Holly Holm does that. There's a couple guys and gals that do that. But yeah, Wonder Boy implements this kickboxing game, but you just got to take his legs from him. If you could take his legs and that distance from him, man, you're gonna force him to throw hands. He don't necessarily throw knees like that, so which is very weird. He doesn't throw knees often. And that's a guy you would expect to implement knees. He doesn't throw knees like that. But he's good with his kicks. We're gonna have to see though. He's going up against Demolidor, Michel Pereira, 28-11. This man is 29 years old. This man is 6'1" with a 73-inch reach, representing the Scorpion fighting system. If you need to know, this gym kind of bothers me because one of the fighters here is Josh Parisian, and I talk about it during streams on OK Live. I talk about it whoever I could talk to about it. Josh Parisian is butt. Josh Parisian is butt. I'm sorry, man. Alicia Zapatella, she trains out that gym too. But Alicia Zapatella, she look good, but she kind of butt too. You know what I mean? She borderline butt. Colin Anglin, he's butt. But yeah, Dan Barry, he's on the rise. You know. Tim Farr was a long time coach. He's a good guy though. Bunch of Dan Barry, he's all right. But yeah, Josh Parisian, right. So out of that, Michel Pereira, this dude is explosive. This guy is dynamic. This is a guy you want to put the title on. He has the physique. He has the humor. His fights are dynamic. But then we wondered about his gas tank. But he's kind of changed that up since then. Let me explain. Out of these 28 wins, 28 wins, yes. 16 of these have been by, I don't know why they say 28 when I'm counting 27. Okay, that's fucking weird. But okay, 16 of these have been by finish, 11 by decision. So that's 27. Where's the 28? Goddamn, topology. He's been stopped by twice. Once by punch strikes, once by submission. 7 losses by decision. But he's been on a streak. A 5-fight win streak. And all this kind of changed. Mainly changed after the Tristan Connolly fight. So let's go explain it. Our boy came to the UFC in 2019. Showed up, annihilated Danny Roberts. His second fight, he fought the newcomer, the random dude Tristan Connolly out of Canada. Connolly was a lightweight who moved up to welterweight. And Michel Pereira did all the crazy stuff, all the flips, all the ninjutsu, all the Wang Chung, all the crazy shit. Gassed himself out. Connolly managed to survive the first round. Came out and started to wrestle and put all his chops and managed to eke out the decision win against Michel Pereira. Big time underdog victory. This was so big that was the fight of the night. But because Michel Pereira missed weight, Tristan Connolly walked out of that mofo event with $100,000. He got his fight, his 50 G's, and got to take Michel's 50 G's. He also got a 30% purse. The 30%, he took the 30% out of Michel Pereira's paycheck because of the missed weight. This man walked out of there with probably over $110,000. And we're not even including his own check. Tristan Connolly, you're amazing. I always got to give him props for that. But after that, he lost to Diego Sanchez because Sanchez was getting beat up, but Sanchez got hit with a legal knee, used his veteran instincts and said, yo, he hit me illegally. If I don't continue, I win, right? And that's what happened. So then Michelle said, yo, this is bullcrap. I got to fight smart. So he did. And he put the beating on Salim Imadayev back in 2020 during the pandemic. Those shots, man, if you get a chance to go watch that shit, please go watch that fight. Because that was one of the most beautiful whoopings we might have ever seen. Man, during the pandemic. He beat Chaos Williams. He beat Nico Price by unanimous decision. Andre Fiallo, he beat by unanimous decision. He went toe-to-toe with Pons and beat Pons. And that was last year. Pereira's explosiveness, dynamic kicks, crazy range with those legs. He could cut distance on Wonder Boy. But the thing will be, will Michel Pereira fight an intelligent fight and go for the takedowns on Wonder Boy? Will Wonder Boy force himself to use wrestling on Pereira? I don't know these things. What I do know is that if it's a straight-out striking battle, this is going to be nuts. And I know Wonder Boy is OG vet, and he knows how to squeak out a win, man. I'm going to lean towards Wonder Boy on this one. I may lean towards Wonder Boy. I can't let the crazy dynamic striking fool me. Wonder Boy knows how to get W's, man, regardless of what. He's up there in age, but he knows how to get the W's. Which leads us to our last two fights. Our co-main event. Number 3, Jan Blachowicz. And this is weird. Number 3, Jan Blachowicz of the light heavyweight division faces number 2 in the UFC middleweight division, Alex Pereira. I don't think they have Pereira ranked as number 2 in light heavyweight. That would be nuts. But number 2, there. Now, the light heavyweight division is on somewhat life support right now. Ever since John gave up the title, there has not been one solid light heavyweight champion. It's been tossed up to everybody. You know? This dude lost it. Jan got it. Jan got the title. Lost it to Glover. Glover lost it to Prohaska. Prohaska gets injured. They vacate it. Jamal Hill wins it. Jamal Hill vacates it. He gets injured. I'm telling you, we haven't had a solid light heavyweight champion. Yo, let me tell you how crazy this is. Chuck Liddell won the title, right? Years ago. Lost it to Quentin Rampage. And that was the same thing that kept happening. Quentin won, lost to Forrest Griffin on his first defense. Forrest Griffin won it, lost it to Rashad Evans on his first defense. Rashad won it, lost it to Lyoto Machida. Lyoto Machida fought the same guy twice, lost it the second time to Shogun. Shogun defended it one time, lost it to John. John goes on the streak, we have the same shit all over again. It is nuts. Yo, either that belt is cursed or the division is cursed. One of the two. But Jan Blachowicz had an opportunity to win this title. And it didn't happen. Jan's now 40, 6'2", 78-inch reach. Representing Poland, of course. 18 by finish, 11 by decision. He's been stopped 4 times, 2 by submission, 2 by strikes. 5 losses by decision. He beat Rakic. His last, well, no. He lost in a draw. Well, it was a draw against Magomed Ankalaev, which was one of the most confusing fights. That was a confusing ass fight. It's like both these dudes wanted to fight, but they didn't put their heart into it. They put like minimal effort into it. I don't understand. It was a very weird fight. Before that, he beat Rakic. Well, Rakic's knee kind of got jacked up. He lost to Glover, but he beat Izzy when Izzy tried to move up. He KO'd Reyes. He beat Anderson. He beat Souza. He beat Rockhold. This is the guy who has a kickboxing acumen. He has a judo belt. He has a jiu-jitsu black belt, if I remember. Um, he has a karate background as well. He's versed. He's well versed in a lot of different arts. He's a man of many trades. But he's up there in age. The left hook is the dangerous check left of his is whoo. And when he kicks with authority. Powerful, powerful leg kicks, especially that back leg. Man, that rear leg body kicks, monstrous. Ask that boy. Ask that boy. We just said his name, man. Ask that boy, man. Reyes about those kicks. Man left his foot in Reyes's rib cage. Um, those kicks are nasty. All of his strikes, they fire off quick, and they're very effective. I mentioned his left hook, super quick left hook, check left, nasty, nasty stuff that comes from him. He does have some defensive holes a little bit. That comes with age, though. Um, Sometimes you can force him to try to fire off, engage, get a little too crazy. But I think this is going to be more of a stand-up battle here as he faces our former middleweight champion, Alex Pereira. Now, Pereira is 7-2. Not that big of a deal. He beat Izzy for the title, 5th round stoppage. Izzy won the title back. They said, yo, this guy cuts a lot of weight. Let's move him up the division to light heavyweight. Izzy got some challenges still in the middleweight division. You know, I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. And let's move him up. Excite the light heavyweight division. Plus the cut is kind of crazy, and Pohatan is pretty big. Move up the division, man. Move up the division. Let's see how you do at light heavyweight. 36 years old, 6'4", 80-inch reach. 6'4", 80-inch reach. Kevin Holland's fighting at welterweight with an 81-inch reach. Life is crazy, man. He trains with Glover Teixeira, does Alex Pereira, long-time training partner. Either 7 wins, 6 by finish. He's only been submitted and knocked out once. We've seen the knockout with Izzy, and he got submitted back in 2015. Other than that, he's been good. Beat Izzy, knocked out Sean Strickland in his debut. Bruno Silva, they had a good back and forth. Michaelides got knocked out in the second round. And Thomas Powell, he sent to Sleepsville. You know, he had a long, storied career in Glory. 2-division champ, middleweight and light heavyweight champ of Glory. Won the tournaments. Did very good for himself in kickboxing. That man has power. Everything he throws is with violent intentions. His left hook is the hand of God. If you get touched by that, you're done. Tony, what's up, Tony? What's going on, bro? I just seen the hit up now, boy. Oh, shoot. What's up, boy? You good? I hope you good, bro. Yo, so freaking, it's insane. This guy, hand of God. The way he throws those kicks, he sets those kicks up very well. They come out very fast. He doesn't quite have a tell for when he throws a head kick. He doesn't quite have a tell for when he throws that hook. You just got to know if that hook is coming, protect your neck. Um, it's devastating. He has devastating knees. His clinch is strong. If you get tied up if you get caught up in the tie plum, it's problems. If you get caught up in the clinch in itself, problems. He will throw those knees. Those knees will F you up. If he tries to throw the leg kicks snap off real quick. He'll dead your legs fast with his leg kicks. And other than that, it's pretty good stuff that he manages to do. But all his strikes come with ill intent. He has a submission game that's slowly growing, slowly evolving. So I see Jan Blachowicz coming in here and probably mixing up takedowns, looking to fire his shots, trying to avoid the left hook. Alex is going to have to avoid Jan's left hook as well. This will be a very good kickboxing bout, but don't expect it to stay all the way kickboxing. Jan's going to try to fight his way for the title, and he will look for the takedown. I feel he will look for the takedown. This will be a very fun bout because both these dudes are going to come out there. Pereira is going to be out there guns blazing. There will not be a boring fight from Pereira. But Jan got to try to do his best out here. If not, I think he's going to get smoked. I think he gets smoked. He gets caught with some sort of shot to the body, and then he gets clipped by that hand. Other than that, it should be a very good fight. I know, the MMA records don't read it out like that, but it should be very good. I think Glover should have Alex prepared for this, with Alex being at the weight. We'll see how much he has when he walks in, how big he looks walking in, since it'll be a light heavyweight bout. 205 is it. So he comes in at 205. Well, 206 will be the max. Got the one weight carryover, the 1 pound carryover. He'll make the weight. It'll be how much weight he puts on after the weigh-ins. That's going to be the telling point for this fight. And now we're able to our main event. Our main event, even though they have it. The UFC, I hate y'all so much. They build it as a title fight. The title is not a real title, but it sells pay-per-views, okay? That's what they tell me, and that's what they're going around telling everybody. I'm all for people trying to get their money, so get your money, regardless of how goofy it looks. As long as you don't gotta go out there embarrassing yourself, I'm fine with it. So at UFC 244, right? This was back in 2019, right? 2019. Jorge Masvidal fought Nate Diaz. This was live here, New York at the MSG. And The Rock came out there not only to promote his bullshit shoes, those Brahma bull craps, horrible ass shoe, just a horrible ass shoe. It's a Reebok shoe with the bull on it. Come on, man, with the Brahma logo. Kiss my ass. What? Athletic shoe. I could buy some Champions. What's those ones? $20? I'm gonna buy the Brahma Bulls for like what? $1 and what? $1 something? $2? 200 something? Man, kiss my ass. So what? So look, I digress. UFC 244. Nate Diaz fought Jorge Masvidal. To sell the fight, they created this belt, the BMF title, which means the baddest mofo. These two guys fought. Nate Diaz got bloodied up, and he got pieced up pretty bad. But the bad cut happened. Ref stopped it. Jorge Masvidal became the BMF champ. They ended up having that title float in non-existence. When Usman fought Masvidal, Usman was fighting him for the title, kind of somewhat. Masvidal didn't defend that title, but Masvidal did get whooped. Masvidal took some whoopings, boy. Jesus. The title ended up being vacated. Dana White said, we're not going to have this fight no more. The title's just going to sit there. We're going to have no more of this gimmick stuff. Then he talked about Ngannou's fight being a gimmick. The crossover fights being gimmick fights. Here we are with the BMF title once again. Freaking Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. Number 2 versus number 3 of the lightweight division. 2 guys, man, who have been fighting a list of who's who in this lightweight division. God dang. 29-7 Dustin Poirier. 24-4 Justin Gaethje. Both of these dudes were interim UFC champions. Both of these guys had. Oh shit! I just realized something. Both of these dudes held the interim title, right? Both of these guys held the interim UFC title. Both of these guys also, had 2 title shots. Dustin Poirier had fought Khabib and fought Oliveira. Gaethje fought Khabib and Gaethje fought Oliveira. Shit. Both of these dudes won the numerous numbers of Fight of the Night awards, Performance of the Nights. Dustin's had a long career, man. Coming out of Louisiana, go watch that Fightville documentary of his upbringing. They also had that joint, that MTV show. You could catch him on there. He was on a couple of those episodes with Matt Schnell and a couple other cats. Was that boy Tony Kelly, the racist dude, and a couple of other guys. But yo, Poirier, former featherweight, for the list of who's who at featherweight, became a lightweight. Got good. Got real good. Hands like what? Learned the calf kick. Been in the wars. Beat all these guys, man. Dustin Poirier. Dusted, who was it? Duffy. Beat Conor McGregor twice. Conor McGregor beat him at featherweight, but he avenged that. Got two whoopings on Conor McGregor. But he's done a lot for himself. Now he's 34 years old, 5'9", 73-inch reach, represent American top team. 22 finishes, 7 wins by decision. He's only lost 5 times by finish, twice by decision. Beat Chandler rear naked choke last fight out. That was late last year. Lost Oliveira, beat McGregor twice. Had that war with Dan Hooker, Jesus Christ. Lost to Khabib before that, but had that war with Max Holloway. Had the war with Eddie Alvarez. Had the war with Justin Gaethje. Had the fight with Anthony Pettis. The other one with Eddie Alvarez, that was the no contest because of the knee. Jim Miller and him had a war. That was the fight that this man had to get carted out because Jim Miller beat his leg to a bloody pulp. Not knocked out by Johnson, but beat Bobby Green, Joe Duffy, Madero. Yo, he's fought some fuckers, man. God damn, he fought some fuckers. But I love the boxing. I love his take, his wrestling. He's improved in the wrestling. He's improved striking-wise and somewhat counter-striking-wise. Defense has been pretty good for him as well. If there's anything to notice about Dustin Poirier is that he takes the 3rd round off. That's one of the things that kind of bothers me. He takes the third round off. If he's in a 5-round fight, he will take the third round off. If it's a 3-round fight, he's in it for all 3 rounds. But if it's a 5-round fight, he takes the third round off. It's in all his fights. You could go check that out for yourself. He takes that third round off. Unless he knows he got his dude hurt, he takes the third round off. It's bothersome, but it's there. Going up against the highlight, Justin Gaethje, 24-4. 34 years old, 5'11", 70-inch reach. Represent out of Arizona, but trains with Trevor Whitman. There you go. Out in Denver. Gets that high altitude, that elevation training. 20 wins by finish, 4 by decision. He's only been stopped 4 times, twice by knockout, twice by TKO, twice by submission. Beat Fiziev last fight out, war. Tactical, calculated war. And I actually told how that man was going to actually win. He would have to fight technical to win. We said that shit on the Cope's Corner episode of UFC 286. You could go back and check that out. KOPSKORNER with my homie Mike Copenhaver. We actually talked about that. And I said it. If he could beat Fiziev, he has to beat him technically. He has to have a technical fight. And I picked Justin Gaethje to fight that fight. Charles Oliveira, though, he lost to Charles. He beat Chandler, lost to Khabib. Beat Ferguson, beat Cerrone, beat Barboza, beat Vic. Lost to Poirier and Eddie Alvarez. They beat Michael Johnson in his debut. Had his epic WSOF run with the lightweight title over there. Yes, he's been a lightweight champion before, WSOF. That's right. But yo, Gaethje, he's going to go and be in your face. The defense is going to be high. It'll be high defense early, then F defense for the rest of the fight, most likely. There's going to be a lot more tactical fighting from this time around. I don't expect it to be a mess until later in the fight. But this will be more of a tactical fight between these two because they've already fought each other before. And Justin Gaethje's made the necessary adjustments to handle for certain guys now. I think Dustin Poirier has managed to do well enough. Gaethje does have the bombs. Yo. Yes, it is. Ted, what's going on, bro? So, Gaethje has his overhand. Justin Gaethje has the overhand right. The overhand right is like a kill shot. But we've also seen Justin Gaethje tying up and use the hooks. If there's a punch you got to worry about, is Gaethje's uppercut. Gaethje got a mean uppercut that he doesn't try to just connect with on you. He tries to obliterate your head. So it's pretty much, I'm coming in, I'm going to hit you, I'm going through your head. Poirier got an uppercut. Poirier's uppercut comes in to connect. He throws that thing, it's when he hits your chin, boom, that's a rattler. His uppercut is a rattler, but he has the follow-up with the hooks. He likes to throw the left and right in combination, or he throws the 2-1, not the 2-1. Yeah, 2-1? No, I said that wrong. The 3-2, there you go. He throws the 3-2. He'll put the straight, or he'll put the 3-4, which is 2 hooks combination, but he likes to put that out there. A 3-2 will come out, boom, you're going out. Gaethje comes in with these one-hitters, though. The uppercut will come, boom. Both of these guys enjoy their dirty boxing. They will go for the dirty box, the hand over the head, the back of the head. Dirty box, Randy Couture used to do this, was notorious for this. But hit a little bit of the dirty box, catch you, cup you, kind of like a plum, almost a tie clinch somewhat, but loose. And then just ram uppercuts, short uppercuts. Get those in there. But we've seen that Poirier is willing to mix up a couple things, man. Get this striking in. Use a little bit more of these nice little shots. Be a little bit smart with the defense. Throw a little couple elbows, forearms in there. Get a little messy. He's been doing a little bit of that in his last couple fights. We've seen that. Gaethje's been finding a lot more smart, though. And we've seen DP throw these calf kicks. The calf kick battle will be an interesting one. Because Dustin Poirier has managed to throw some strong calf kicks in these couple fights we've seen. Justin Gaethje, however, throws leg kicks like a mother. Oh my God. Jim Miller managed to rack up a lot of leg kicks on Dustin Poirier. Justin Gaethje needs at least 5 to fuck with Dustin Poirier's stand-up. And if he can keep slapping leg kicks on Dustin, it will be problems. I'm tongue-tied because of Justin and Dustin. It's going to be very, very interesting to see this fight, how this footwork goes, and these guys trying to avoid leg kicks. The leg kick battle will be crazy. And the boxing situations, as well as the clinches. This is going to be a beautiful fight. Beautiful fight night on both ends, both on the MMA side and the boxing side. If you're just coming in, I did the boxing beforehand. I saved some of the boxing because Ted is over here, and I'll probably pop up tomorrow on Late Night Parent to discuss a little bit, the fine tunes of this boxing fight between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. But I break down this MMA stuff because it's pretty cool. But man, this weekend for combat sports, awesome. There's some regional stuff you want to check out. Cage Warriors got the shows, Cage Warriors been touching, all up in the UK, but also trying to hit up the States. And that's been pretty good. There's also some local promotion stuff. You got your Fight Pass stuff, UFC Fight Pass stuff, but the major stuff, you got to catch that, man. But yeah, I think that's it, man. UFC 291 is going to be cool. I'm going to have to try to line up these picks officially. I'll post my picks on Twitter. You want to follow me on Twitter, New Year's Same B at Mr. B, Mister B 1986. You can find me on Twitter there. I got an OK Live account. I had to remake it because they were hating on me. So it's the same name, Mr. B, the same picture, Laura Sanko, in the gym with the leggings. Yep. And that's it. So I'm out of here. Gary came through. Tony came through real quick. Real Ted Hicks. Whoever manages to listens to this. But yeah, if you don't catch me there, you catch me on there with Mike. Me and Mike have been taking a break from this Cope's Corner stuff, man. But hopefully we could get back. But if you want to catch any of the past episodes, KOPESKORNER MMA, YouTube and Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, yeah. No problem, man. I do what I can when I can, man. How I can do it. Yes, sir. Oh shoot. There is one thing. There's a women's boxing bout that takes place. And I talked about it on Ted with Ted. We talked about it earlier this month. Sinesia Estrada. There you go. Sinesia Estrada is going to be boxing this weekend. I mean, actually on Friday. That's right. Before we go. There you go. Sinesia Estrada will be boxing. Let me pull this up real quick. Sinesia Estrada. Hold on. See? Hold on. Hold up. We done, boys. There you go. Super bad. There you go. 24-0 Sinesia Estrada fights this on Friday. Now, depending on how my Friday goes, we could watch this. This will be on Top Rank. Now, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, that Showtime pay-per-view. Sinesia Estrada, Leonela Eureka for the WBC, WBA World Female Strawweight titles. That's going to be taking place on Friday on ESPN Plus, 9 o'clock. Andres Cortez, who's undefeated, fights Xavier Martinez. Cortez is 19-0. Martinez is 18-1. That's at the light bantamweight, junior bantamweight. Abraham Nova, Supernova, aka I call him Puerto Rican Abraham Lincoln. There you go. 22-1 fights Jonathan Romero, who's 35-1. That's gonna be at junior lightweight. Cesar Francis, 12-1, fights Rohan Polanco, who's 9-0 out of DR. That's at junior welterweight. Carlos Balderas, who's 14-1, fights Nahir Albright, who's 15-2. That's gonna be at lightweight. Subaru Murata, who's 4-0 out of Japan, fights Juan Centeno at super bantamweight. Yep. And we got Charlie Sheehy, 6-0 versus Kalen Alfred, who's 3-4-2 at lightweight. Dante Benjamin Jr., who's 7-0, who I'm interested in watching fight, will fight William Langston, who's 8-3 at light heavyweight. And Jalen Phillips, who's 1-2-3. 1-2-3. 1 win, 2 losses, and 3 no contest. Versus Edmund Driver, who's 1-1 at 140 junior welterweight. That 1-2-3 kills me. But yeah, man, I just wanted to remind y'all about that. But yeah, I'll be on with Ted tomorrow. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Catch that late night parent. I think Ted wants to do an early one, so late night parent. That's probably be like around 10. We'll say around 10. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow of things. And yeah, catch me on OK Live, Mr. B. New Year, same B on Twitter. I don't have an IG really. I'm gonna try to do some other stuff. I want to join Threads, but Threads is doing. Threads lost subscribers already. But that's it. I'm out of here. Y'all be good. Y'all be easy. Y'all take care. Oh shit. I'm belched. Yeah. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see y'all on the weekend. Till then, peace.